Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Munirah Binti Rahman 117252. I from TABC. So my research proposal is the relationship between social support and academic motivation among first year students Faculty of Social Science and Humanity FSSK at National University of Malaysia UKM. So first of all we go to the chapter 1 background of study. The transition to university life is often looked upon as a positive event, but the change in university life can be more stressful and difficult depending on the degree, which the new environment of the university relates to the old environment in which students have previously been operating. For some students, this process may be minor and relatively seamless, but for others, transition may take considerable time and effort. Social support is very important for individuals in their life and also have been recognized to have significant impact on the motivation of the students. Is it indeed important to realize that students' performance in academic is determined not only by motivation-related matters but also the social support that they get from people around them? Next, we go to the problem statement. First year students need social support so that their academic pursuit can be successful. Social support can be particularly important in the suppression of stressor because students experience a range of stressor in the academic and personal field. In addition, social support is very important for individuals in their life and has also been recognized as having a significant impact on the students' achievement. A considerable amount of research has been conducted on social support and academic motivation in different countries. Conversely, research related to social support and academic motivation is still very unusual at Malaysia, particularly in Lembah Kelang. So my research question is what is the relationship between of social support and academic motivation? What is the best social support influence the academic motivation because of social support? My research objective is the aim of this study are to examine the relationship between social support and academic motivation among first year students at Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at UKM. Then, to find out the best social support influence the academic motivation among first year students at Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at UKM. Next, we go to the null hypothesis. There is no relationship between social support and academic motivation among first year students, Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at UKM. Then, there is no the best social support influence the academic motivation among first year students at Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at UKM. So we go to the significance of the study. For the students, it helps students to identify their potential with academic motivation to achieve a great academic performance as well as maintaining a good relationship with social support. For the teachers, it makes preparation to maintain and build a good social relationship in the future. Meanwhile, for counselor, it used to provide a useful information to society in regards to build a social support within harmonious family, good friends, best institution, and concerned teachers. To governance, it develop and promote a good social support among students to make a best academic motivation. So we go to the school of study. The study was conducted among first-year students, Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at National University of Malaysia, UKM. The study focused on the relationship, social support and academic motivation among first-year students, Faculty of Social Science and Humanity at National University of Malaysia. Next, we go to the definition from the social support. Social support refers to the perceived comfort, care, esteem, or guidance that a person receives from others or a group. People with a social support believe that they are loved, cared for, and respected. Social support as part of a social network which can provide good service and mutual defense in times of need or danger. From the academic motivation, is defined here as achievement-oriented activity. The activity is person undertake with the expectation that their success will be measured in terms of some standard of excellence. This definition has the merit of leading one to an early consideration of criteria or indicates of achievement-oriented activity, and all are taught these are not always stated explicitly. An examination of the empirical literature suggests that three are widely used. 1. Performance in tasks. 2. Persistence at tasks of moderate difficulty. And 3. Selection of tasks at the threshold of one's ability. Now, we go to the chapter 2. Literature review. From the social support refers to the experience that others who are present in one's life are valued, respected, cared for, and loved. It may come from various sources such as family, friends, teacher, community, or any of the social group one is affiliated with. Several studies have documented the level of perceived and received social support to correlate more favorably with mental health than the amount of assistance provided. Structural support refers to the presence and the sum of support by means of formal and informal social ties. Academic motivation. The academic motivation of students is to motivate the students to engage in the learning process. Academic motivation can be defined by its dimensions, including intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and motivation. The motivation has a greater degree of multifaceted, non-cognitive psychosocial structure, while academic motivation is a more specific concept, namely creative thinking skill and learning skills, school satisfaction for students, and reasons for attending school and doing homework. Academic motivation depends on interest, skill in time management, imagination, and other late developing qualities which not as battery capture well. Literature review, relationship between social support and academic motivation. According to Erdogan, Taxi, Fahri Sizel, Ugu Gugan, and Sam Akhtar, 2015, when the encouragement obtained from other people who communicate with each other is positive or negative influence their motivation. Individuals also need other people to help to solve difficulties they face during their education and social life, and to continue their life in order to sustain a healthy life. Social support strongly encourages motivational factor and subsequent participation in learning activities. The result revealed that only supervisors and institutional support were significantly related to motivational factors and student engagement in their master thesis. Social support and academic motivation affect their academic self-efficacy. The results show a substantial and positive correlation between academic motivation and academic self-efficacy, and academic motivation could predict 0.26% of academic self-efficacy variance. Now we go to the Islamic perspective. From the social support, in the ayat Al-Quran from Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 2, Allah says, "Help one another in acts of piety and righteousness, and do not assist each other in acts of sinfulness and transgression. And be aware of Allah. Verily, Allah is severe in punishment." In Islam, there is a connection between individual responsibility and the rights and privilege derived from group membership. Individual duties must be met before one day accept a portion of the society he is a member of. Each member of a society needs to fulfill its own obligations and depend on others to fulfill their obligation until the society can gain the requisite pool of social rights and privilege that can then be shared by all. From the academic motivation, Islamic Relief 2040, many Muslim academics assume that the fundamental goal of development in Islam is to create an environment that enables people to enjoy spiritual, moral, and socio-economic in this world and prosperity in the hereafter. They refer to this definition of well-being as falah. The consequence of these are that such an ecosystem can only be produced in communities that function in multiple dimensions to eradicate sources of human deprivation. This is counter to the prevailing view of purely economic growth-centered development. Now, we go to the theoretical framework. Self-determination theory recognizes that a person can be motivated in three distinct ways when adopting a behavior, or motivate, extrinsically motivate, and intrinsically motivate. These three forms of motivation are located on an established continuum according to the level of self-determination implicit in each of them. External regulation, the behavior is adopted to achieve reward or avoid punishment for which there is no internalization process. While introverted regulation, the behavior is conducted to avoid the sensation of guilt which would be produced by not carrying out it. Identify regulation, the behavior is conducted because the behavior social value is appreciated. And finally, integrate regulation is the behavior is coherently incorporated into the person's own identity and their personal value system will appear. Now we go to the chapter 3. From the research design of this study is quantitative method. In this study, independent variable are social support and the dependent variable is academic motivation. From the sample and population, respondents from first-year students at National University of Malaysia UKM in Bandar Baru Bangi at the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities. The population is 400 students. Only 196 respondents were selected to be involved in this study and random sampling technique. For the data collection method, the data is collected through online questionnaire, Google Form. The data will be recorded in a Google spreadsheet in an analyzable format and graphical representation of data statistics. For the research instrument, I have used two instruments which is multi-dimensional scale of perceived social support (MSPSS) to measure perceived social support and also academic motivation scale AMS to measure academic motivation. From the data analysis, I use SPSS software. Descriptive statistics were used to describe the sample. The descriptive analysis involved the mean, percentage, frequency, and standard deviation. Finally, the conclusion. Students need to establish and maintain a positive learning environment to attain success. The quality of the relationship that students have in study with parents, their peers, education institution is important to their success in university. Knowledge of social in the student can be used as a guide to help them choose specific social support to suit to increase their academic motivation. In terms of academic motivation and positive social support from classmates, teacher and family is one of the most important factors. Therefore, it would be useful to inform stakeholders, especially teachers and a student's family, about the benefit of this social support. That's all from me. Thank you.